You gotta realize, man, you know, his mother had a modeling agency, and it was alleged that it was also Ladies of the Night, a tuition ring too.
I grew up with Puff Daddy's parents. Yeah. So, I all come from Harlem, born and raised here. A lot of things that you see happen came about from not even from my generation, but the generation that came before me.
Dapper Dan tried to sound the alarm about Diddy's mom, and we all brushed it off. But now, the whispers coming out of Harlem are getting wild. They're saying Janice Combs wasn't just your typical proud mama. Nah, folks are claiming she was deep in the game, allegedly running secret spots and showing her son how to get down way before Bad Boy even existed.
This nigga told me he want receipts. Let's start with your mother, nigga. Your mother got the receipts, nigga. Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipts, nigga. You need more proof, nigga? Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about.
And get this, people say she was the one who put Diddy onto all the freaky business. Word is, she schooled him on how to move in silence, play the game, and manipulate people like a pro. Some even claim she was right there, taking part in those freaky scenes too. That's what they're saying out in Harlem. And remember when that disturbing video dropped? Diddy putting hands on Cassie in that hotel hallway? The internet exploded. But guess who rushed to his side in defense? His mama, Janice? She didn't hesitate, stood firm like he was the one being wronged. But according to Harlem insiders, she might have been sitting on the truth this whole time. The deeper you dig, the darker this story gets.
Or these ladies was doing things other than modeling. So the apple don't fall far from the tree. Yeah. So now you got to understand this, and looking at her and some of the stuff that he was saying, and their relationship has changed since I knew them, since I was around them. You understand? This man was talking about that his mother could take her palms and bend over and put them down on the floor. Not bend over, but she could stand straight up and put her palms on the floor, bruh.
So now the real question is, was Mama Combs just a loyal mother? Or was she actually pulling the strings behind the chaos? Before Puff Daddy got grabbed up by the feds, Harlem fashion legend Dapper Dan had already dropped some heavy truth, and he wasn't sugarcoating a single word. When folks asked him about the whole Puff Daddy mess, Dap didn't defend him, but he didn't throw shade either. Instead, he hit us with that real deal Harlem wisdom. He said he grew up around Puff's parents, including Mama Janice, and according to him, none of this is new. Dap basically said what we're seeing with Diddy now is just part of a long-running pattern. This type of wild behavior, the hush-hush parties, all the secret power moves, it didn't start with Bad Boy. That whole scene had been bubbling for years, long before Diddy was even in the spotlight. The only difference now? Social media put a spotlight on everything. No more hiding behind flashy champagne bottles or oversized Versace shades. And honestly, looking back, Dapper Dan's words hit different now. Because let's get into these rumors. People have been whispering that Janice Combs didn't just raise Diddy. She groomed him into that lifestyle, raised him to move in those same hidden circles behind the glitz and glam. People have been speculating for a while now that Janice might have been the one who exposed Diddy to those now infamous freak-offs. Word on the street is their mother-son relationship wasn't exactly normal. And here's where it really gets wild. Some folks are claiming Janice wasn't just watching from the sidelines. They say she was actually involved in those same freaky scenes that Diddy's being dragged into court over right now. Yeah, the same ones tied to lawsuits, NDAs, and folks saying they walked away traumatized. There's even this old video floating around. Diddy and his mom, Janice, chilling side by side, both hooked up to IV drips.
Yeah, my mom's is gorgeous. Hold on, let me introduce you to my mom. We call Mom Dukes.
Hi.
She's getting a drip with me. She's hydrating. What's up, Ma?
Everything's good, baby. I'm here with you.
Yeah,
I love you.
I love you too.
They said it was for hydration. But here's the shady part. Court docs reveal that during those freak-offs, things got so intense that people literally needed IVs afterward just to recover. We're talking passed out, drenched in sweat, completely wiped out, like medically zapped. Now, I'm not saying they had just stepped out of one of those wild scenes in that clip, but let's be real. The whole vibe is mad suspicious. And it don't stop there. People been side-eyeing how extra touchy Diddy gets with his mom on camera. There's actual footage of him kissing her.
Mom freshly dipped though.
What you trying to do? Show my shoes?
I was trying to show you shoes.
On the lips. And we ain't talking no quick peck either. Full-on lips-to-lips action. Then he starts talking about how his mom's single and needs a man, even though she's 85 years old. Like, huh? Bro, that's your mama. You really saying that out loud? It's giving weird vibes, and folks definitely noticing. Now here's someone nobody's really talking about yet. A lot of folks think Janice used to be a model, right? But Harlem locals are calling cap on that. The real talk? They say she was actually a madam, allegedly setting up young girls with powerful men behind the scenes. All that modeling stuff, just smoke and mirrors, a flashy cover to hide what was really going on. Behind those closed doors, it wasn't runway lights. It was shady deals and girls getting pimped out. And who was right there, watching and soaking it all in as a kid? A young Diddy. Word in the streets? Diddy didn't just pick up those shady moves out of nowhere. He learned everything from Janice.
He's saying that about his mother. Who describes any of their mother action like that in a sexual way? And then, you know, I don't know how many dudes do kiss their mother in their mouth when they 50, 60 years old or something like that. That's them, that's their whole thing, man. But that was a little kind of weird for me. And then his mother wore the same white fingernail polish that Cassie described that he liked to see.
Everything. From how to manipulate and control, to how to charm folks while doing dirt behind the scenes. She allegedly taught him the whole game. And this ain't just some random gossip. Inside has been co-signing this story for years. Jaguar Wright even went on record saying exactly that, calling Janice the blueprint, the original head madam, and Diddy just ran her playbook like clockwork. Even Maze, yeah, that Maze, who's been beefing with Diddy forever, said Janice knows everything. According to him, Diddy's been hiding behind his mom this whole time, like she's the vault holding all the dark secrets. Let's not forget how Janice always shows up to defend her son, every single time drama explodes. Perfect example, that Cassie video, the one where the whole world saw Diddy lay hands on her in that hotel hallway. The internet lost its mind. But guess who rushed to defend him without hesitation? Janice. She tried to paint him like some misunderstood little boy, acting like he was the real victim. But come on now. We all saw what happened. Ain't no confusion there. She knew what time it was. She knew what he was capable of. And still, she stood firm right by his side like nothing ever happened. Since we're on the topic of Diddy's violent history with women, let's dig into a darker, twisted layer that most people ain't even ready to face. Believe it or not, there are whispers that Janice Combs herself might have been one of Diddy's first victims. Gene Deal, who used to be tight with Puff back in the day, said he heard it straight from Kirk Burrow. one of Diddy's former partners. The story? Diddy was caught not just screaming at his own mama, but allegedly slapping her too. Yeah, you heard that right. The same woman who always defends him might have been on the receiving end of his rage from day one. Now wait a minute. He slapped his own mama? The same woman he kisses on the lips? The one he calls a queen every time he's on camera?
Yeah, my mom's is single. Mom's is single. I ain't gonna hate on my mom's. She's single. Me and my mom talked about one time doing a dating show with her. And she's so picky. She's so picky, they don't stand. But yeah, that'd be the funniest show in the world.
Something ain't adding up here. But if that story is real, it flips the whole script. Now folks are digging even deeper. And it's getting bloodline deep. Some people out here are saying Janice Combs might not even be Diddy's real mother. Yeah, you heard that right. The rumor is his actual biological mom may have passed away a long time ago, allegedly. And the woman we've all seen for years might actually be his aunt playing the role. Now, why would they cover all that up? Well, if you trace the story back far enough, it turns real messy. Diddy's biological father, Melvin Combs, was allegedly a full-blown government informant, a straight-up Fed, a snitch. The streets knew it, Harlem whispered it, and Jaguar Wright even said he wasn't just some small-time player. He was allegedly deep in the mix. Shady government ops, backdoor deals, political hookups, and straight-up betrayals in the streets. It's giving Fed family dynasty for real. And let's not act brand new. Diddy himself has been called a Fed too. Remember when Kanye went on camera and said Puff was out here moving like the federal police? The internet didn't even laugh. They were like, yo, he might be onto something. And when you really study how Diddy moves, it's shady. He moves in silence, always sidesteps the fallout, always knows who to throw under the bus right on time, and never seems to take the hit himself. It's real suspicious. Like father, like son. Now here's where it turns into a full-blown Harlem horror story. Whispers from back in the day, old interviews, folks who grew up around them. They're saying Diddy's childhood was soaked in chaos, substances, grown-up situations, and secrets. Some even claim they walked into rooms full of adult men, naked women, and a little Diddy just sitting there, watching. While adults, including Janice, just looked the other way. But now, people are saying maybe she didn't just ignore it. Maybe she was in it. One fan online even posted, yeah, and his mom might not be his mom.
Her and other models in when she was describing her lawsuit. And what's crazy to me is that, man, it seemed like him and his mother had this, I don't want to get too deep, man, this Oedipus complex thing. You know what I mean? And a lot of people going to say, yo, Oedipus complex. Well, let me just tell you a brief story so you'll know. Oedipus was...
We've been new this-ish. Folks been whispering it forever. And when you start connecting all the dots, from the freak-offs to the IV drips to the mouth-on-mouth kisses, it all starts painting a deeply disturbing picture. It might even explain why their relationship has always felt so weirdly intimate, too close, too touchy. The way Janice allegedly showed up at those freak-offs, not just as a guest, but as an active part of the scene. And it gets even messier. Gene Deal claimed Janice wasn't just there. She was out here openly trying to seduce Diddy's bodyguards too. According to him, she wasn't even trying to be discreet about it. So now we're looking at a woman who was allegedly a madam, might not even be his real mom, possibly pulled him into that wild lifestyle, and was out here trying to hook up with his own security team. That's beyond suspect. But here's something else that's been flying under the radar. In a 1999 interview with Vibe magazine, Diddy casually revealed that he lost his innocence at just 12 years old. And he didn't say it like it was something heavy. He talked about it like it was just some growing up moment. He even mentioned that by 11, he was already experimenting, watching late-night cable shows and doing things to himself after. Then the interview took an even weirder turn. They reported that while one of those adult-themed documentaries was playing in the background, his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, was just lounging on the couch like it was nothing. That's not boy-to-man vibes. That's trauma being dressed up like it's part of the grind. And according to whispers that have been circling the industry for years, Janice, she wasn't clueless. Allegedly, she knew exactly what was going down. Matter of fact, she might have been the one guiding it all from the jump. In the making of a Bad Boy docuseries, one source claimed that Diddy had a thing for using red lights during those now infamous parties. Yeah, red lighting, setting the mood with that eerie, low-lit, seductive vibe. And we all know what that kind of lighting usually hints at. But here's the kicker. Some folks say he didn't come up with that on his own. They claim he got it from Janice. She was known as a master of the vibe, the kind who knew exactly how to set a scene, and not in a wholesome way. Now let's zoom out for a second. Another big name keeps popping up in this whole web. Clive Davis. Allegedly, Clive had ties to Diddy's father, Melvin Combs, before Melvin passed. Then suddenly, after Melvin's mysterious death, young Diddy just so happens to land under Clive's wing? Yeah. It's giving chosen one energy, but not in the way you'd normally think. Some folks out here are saying, allegedly, that Diddy might have had to go through certain rites of passage to earn his spot in the industry. And guess who was right there every step of the way? Janice. Watching it all, maybe even managing the process. Maybe doing even more than that. So when you start connecting all these pieces, a young Diddy allegedly exposed to adult content way too early, a shady family setup where the woman raising him might not even be his biological mom, and 3 powerful players stepping in real early, it starts to look real chaotic. And that mother figure, by multiple accounts, she wasn't just standing by, she was in it. Not just watching, but participating. Now let's fast forward to today. Because Diddy's trial, it's officially rolling into week 2. Bodyguards are taking the stand, exes are speaking up, victims are finally breaking their silence, and those court documents, they're stacking up like dirty laundry in a locked closet. And no, we're not just talking about Cassie anymore. This thing is way bigger than her. But here's where it starts to get real shady. There's serious buzz that Janice Combs might allegedly be helping her son hide money. And this ain't just wild internet talk. Allegedly, Diddy's got multiple properties and assets listed under her name. Which means Janice might not just be the mom in this story. She might be part of the operation. She might just be a whole person of interest in this mess. And trust, when it comes to money, the feds don't play. If they find out Janice was out here helping Diddy move or protect assets, oh yeah, she's getting a closer look real quick. And while Diddy's looking more guilty by the day, some folks are starting to ask, what if Janice is the reason he turned out like this in the first place? Let's be real. This freaky behavior, the twisted control, the manipulation games, that stuff don't just show up out of nowhere. It's learned, it's taught, it's passed down. And if even half these stories are true, Janice might have been the one who laced him up from the jump, showed him how to move like this. But what do you think? Is Janice just a ride or die mama trying to protect her son? Or is she the real mastermind, the puppet master behind the curtain? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I need to hear what y'all think. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend, and smash that notification bell. Because with the way this trial's heating up, you do not want to miss what's coming next. See you on the next one.